Dear friends, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm extremely honored to be here to address this Teachers' Day. 3 professors of philosophy one evening goes to a railway station to send off the 4th professor who was supposed to address a very, very important seminar in the neighboring state. So 3 professors go to the railway station to send off the 4th professor, and since there's a lot of time, luggage was put in the bogie, since there's a lot of time, these 4 professors of philosophy stand on a platform and start deeply discussing a very, very subtle aspect of Eastern philosophy. And being professors of philosophy, the story goes, they get so submerged in the whole discussion, they fail to appreciate the train has already started off. The train has started off and these 4 professors stand on a platform discussing a very subtle aspect of Eastern philosophy. And the moment one of them realizes the train has started off, the last compartment was going at the side by. So he screams, "Hey, the train has already started off." And all 4 professors charge to the last bogie and maybe in the next station come back to their respective seats. All 4 of them charge. 3 of them were successful in entering to the running train. The 4th professor was not successful, very despondent, very, very sad. He sat on a platform seeing his 3 friends away. A passerby was watching there. He comes to him and gently taps him on the back and says, "Sir, you don't have to be so despondent. In just a matter of 5 minutes, there's going to be another train which is going to go to the same destination. You will catch up with your 3 friends. To which the 4th professor says, "I'm sad not because I could not enter into the train." He says, "I'm sad because of my 3 friends who have entered into the train." He said, "Why should he be sad? They were effective in running into a running train." He says, "These 3 friends, right, who entered the train had come to send me off. They had come to send me off. In the hustle and bustle, they have entered into the train." Friends, these 3 professors came to send off the 4th professor, right? They were effective in running into a running train, but their effectiveness was a sign of success or failure. Of failure. Even though they were effective in running into a running train, their success was a failure. Even though they were dexterous to run into a running train. Why? Because they were not aware of the context in which they had come. They were not aware they had come to send off the 3 professors. And since they were not aware, unawareness brings about a dimension of invalidation. The real role of a teacher is to increase awareness. Because if you now don't increase your awareness, your quality of life will not really improve. Just pause for a moment and see, friends. If you see the history of evolution, technology has tremendously evolved. I don't have to say to this group here. Technology has tremendously evolved, but has peace of mind have really evolved? I see technology is very well. I'm not denouncing technology advancement. Technology has gone up. People's peace of mind has not increased. So, a good teacher is one, as we encourage technology going ahead, one's quality of life, not only luxuries, in peace of mind, in feeling others, that has to increase there. And therefore, to me, the great role of a teacher is to increase your awareness. This increasing of awareness, when you increase, then you find 2 things you have to work. You have to work on being an outer winner in life. You have to work on being an inner winner in life. All management tells you to be an outer winner. Outer winner is success, but inner winner is satisfaction. As we work on success, our role of a teacher, as he helps people to be successful, also can I learn to be satisfied. The ability to be satisfied is going to give really vitamins to your soul. Ability of success can give you comforts. Comforts gives you can be very comfortable and feel comfortably miserable also. So therefore, this role of a teacher for me to make the student understand, as you increase in technology, can increase your peace of mind. Because all of us are pushed into situations. Please understand, we are pushed into situations. All of you are very young. As you grow, you will see your situation. Like there was a philanthropic person, a very philanthropic person, right? And therefore he wanted to honor the most courageous person in the town. So he said a most courageous person will be given 20 lakhs. And that time 20 lakhs is a very big amount. So they all came to see what the feat was, and the feat was very farcical, very ludicrous, very, very simple. There's a swimming pool, maybe quarter of this building, or half of this being a swimming pool, and it says whoever can swim from this end to another end, right, will be given 20 lakhs and Veera Chakra title. So everybody was shocked. What is the great feel for that? So all of them paused. They knew there was some catch in it, but he said, one but came butting down, right? But he says, they are only, please be aware, there are only about 25 crocodiles inside. There are only 25 now. Who is going to get into it now? A quarter of this hall, 25 crocodiles, right there, and now he said nobody entered into it. A thin fellow from Hyderabad was there. Suddenly he was in the pool, and a lightning speed, he came out that side. And everybody was flabbergasted. Man was so thin. What a courageous act. Right? Everybody was shocked. The philanthropist was in a state of ecstasy. He goes, gives a garland, gives a check there. He says, before you honor me, who is the rascal who pushed me inside? Who is the rascal who pushed me inside? Friends, if you pause and observe, we are pushed into life. We are pushed into life. Right? Now, living is not a problem. Like that person swimming is not a problem. Swimming is not a problem. What is the problem is the 25 crocodiles there. So living for you and I is not the problem. We are pushed into life. We will not go to theory of karma, etc. We are pushed into life. Right? Living is not the problem, but you have so many crocodiles in your life. Your boss can be a crocodile. Your husband can be a crocodile. Right? Your mother-in-law, father-in-law can be a crocodile. So many things. Now you should have the psychology. A teacher's role is, please, making you understand the psychology of the other and navigate yourself. You know, right, in National Geography I was seeing, even though the famous person was, who died there on the crocodile, but that apart, in National Geography I was seeing, a person's hobby is to swim with the crocodiles. Person's hobby is to swim with the crocodile. So I was watching, I am a lover of animals, I was wondering, how can it be a hobby to swim with the crocodiles? Right? Then I sat up and I watched. He says, if you know the psychology of the crocodile, please listen carefully. Right? If you know the psychology, National Geography was saying, if you know the psychology of the crocodile, create a necessary distance. He says it's great fun to swim with the crocodile. And in my own eyes in Mysore I saw, as I was going through. No, it doesn't matter, I don't need fan. I love to enjoy sweating. Just leave it. So there will be more peace. Okay. Listen, so in Mysore I was going through, I saw there's a crocodile in the rock, and the mouth of the crocodile opened, and a bird was seated on the mouth of the crocodile. And I asked this man, right, how has this happened? He says, the crocodile in the morning itself eats the fishes, opens his mouth, and allows birds to cleanse, fish particles in between the teeth, because crocodile doesn't use the dental floss, right? It removes that only in the morning. So the bird knows the psychology of the crocodile, that in the morning the crocodile allows the bird, alright, but not in the afternoon, not in the evening, and therefore the bird has not gone to IIMs, has not gone to Stanford or Oxford, but knows the psychology of the crocodile. Why can't you and I know the psychology of your boss, psychology of your mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, son-in-law? They may be more dangerous than a crocodile, right? But if you know the psychology, create the necessary distance, it's great fun. I feel the great task of a role of a teacher is, please, not telling people to prepare to live life. We are all busy preparing to live life. But telling you, live life in a juicy way. Live life in a vibrant way there. Because most of us, if you see when you're young, we're all preparing to live life. Have you seen? When you are really very, very young there, you want to become a youth, want to become a youth. As kids, I remember myself, we were shaving, when the mustache will come. So you can go in front of Maharani's college, or in front of college is there. So shaving there. So when you're a small kid, you want to go into college. When you get college, you have to run after your boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. Running after you get tired. Then you want to settle down. So you can suffering can be a little more permanent. So you tell. Then you get there as a youth, you want to get married. The moment you get married, what happens? Then you find you put your hand in the pocket, no money. For instance, my God, if one single person had money, not too money now. You work on money, money, money. You join Infosys, you join this one, money, money. Then you have money enough there. Then you look at your wife looks at you, both get fed up of each other. You want to change, because change management word, no? Change management is a word. But you cannot change because your ethics won't allow it. You can change a job, but changing a wife is problem. Changing husband is problem. So therefore what happens? What happens by that? Then you see, you look at the wife looks, you want to change, and so what do you do? Alright, I want children. Most of children are distraction from their husband and wife. Generally I'm talking. Then what happened? Alright, then you want another kid. Because in one kid the wife says, whose child are you? And daddy keeps a chalk at the back, whose child are you? So one kid gets divided. So therefore two kids means in case she wins, he wins, you can take over. Alright, then you have a kid. When the kid is born, alright, the kid is growing up, become a doctor, become a doctor, become a doctor. Right? That fellow says, I'm 9th standard still. I'm still used to shorts. 9th standard, become a doctor. If you see closely, people are more preparing to live. People are not really living life. A teacher's role is, as you go about preparing to live, can you really live life in its totality, with vibrance, with juiciness there? And therefore, one of the important qualities in the Indian ethos is called Navarasas, and one of the rasas is called Hasya Rasa. Hasya means harsha. Hasya actually means laughter. Right? It means harsha, joy. So one of the greatest tasks in living, our Rishi says, in the science of Nritya Shastra, in the science of dance, is, and the role of a teacher is to bring, you should know how to really live in harsha, live in joy. Now if you ask a lot of people, how's life? I've seen this in English, how's life? Dragging on, Swami, pulling on. Kannada hegide? Eno hogta ide. In Hindi, kaisa hai? Chalta hai. Telugu etlundi? Emo jaragta undi. Tamil etlundi? Tamil eppadi irukudhu? Enno porudhu. In every language you find people are dragging on, pulling on, grubbing on. Nobody seems to really rejoice life. And therefore, role of a teacher says, as you plan for the future, don't perish in the present. As you plan for the future, don't perish in the present. How not to perish in the present? Bring hasya rasa. Hasya means harsha, joy in whatever you are doing. I've taken a lot of corporate workshops throughout the world. And the first question they asked me, alright, when you're too young, you don't realize. As you start coming to 30s, you realize. The first question they asked me, Swamiji, what's the recipe to be happy? What is the recipe to be happy? So I don't give, a discourse like this right now. It's a workshop. So I give pieces of paper and pencil to them and tell them, tell me when you are going to be happy. I give the ball to them. When I get the pieces of paper back, 97% of the unanimous answers I get is no problem is equal to happiness, problem is equal to unhappiness. 97. Then I have a hardening session. It's a workshop. I have a hardening session. And I says that, hey, if no problem is equal to happiness and problem is equal to unhappiness, right? Please see, it is not because no problem is equal to happiness. You have programmed your psyche, problem is equal to unhappiness. You are programmed. Your program, no problem is equal to happiness. It is this programming that we have to change. Because one thing is clear, friends, please trust me, so long you are living, you are bound to have problems. Problems are inevitable, but suffering is optional. Problems are inevitable. Suffering is optional. I'm saying of a lot of experience. How many of you are married here? Raise your hand. Do you have problems or not? Yes. If you have no means, somebody, your partner must be having a problem. Right? How many of you are not married? Raise your hand. Do you have problems or not? When to get a partner? And which partner to get? If we have one wife husband, one problem. Variety of many husbands? Variety. If you're a bachelor like me, I have another problem. Everybody has problems. Please understand, this is a great message in the Bhagavad Gita. Matra sparshas kaunteya shitoshna sukhadukkada. So long you are living, you are bound to have problems. I said suffering is optional. That is possible how you look at the problem. The greatest task of a teacher is saying, hey, problems you're going to have, we will solve the problems. But you don't have to suffer because of the problem. Your suffering is because your program problem is equal to unhappiness. There was a philanthropic person who constructed a beautiful football stadium. He invited the football giants like Maradona, Bibito, all into this football match. Out of his own money, he has built a beautiful football stadium. The whole city is jubilant, vibrant, in ecstasy. Because of this philanthropic act, we are watching a live telecast of great football players like Maradona, all playing there. Everybody was happy. His son was seated next to him. He had a castor looking face. You know what's castor? Grandmothers used to give an oil called castor oil, it's a bitter oil, as a form of purgative. Some people's faces are like that. Smiling means he's giving income tax to the government. They will never smile also. He has a son. So father asked the son, why do you look so sad, son? The son says, Daddy, I never knew you were such a great conjuice. The father was stumped hearing, you called me a miser, son? I've spent about $10 million in constructing the stadium. Another $2-3 million in inviting the football giants, and you call me a miser, son? Daddy, I know you have spent this, Daddy. I know all that. But just look, Daddy, just look. The father is saying, that's what I'm doing, son. I'm looking, I'm being happy. He said, look, Daddy, 22 players in this hot sun are desperately, frantically running after one ball. Can't you be a little more kind, Daddy, to donate some more balls? Just imagine a football match, 22 players kicking the ball in the goal. Hey, the fun of the game of soccer is 22 players are running after one ball. They are sweating, they are perspiring, right? But all that adds fun to the game because a player says it's fun playing football. If you can change your paradigm, you can change your perceptions. And the role of a teacher is to change your perceptions. Hey, let us enjoy life. Let us have. Problems are bound to be there. Let me become bigger than the problem rather than victim to a problem. One can bring about that skill, that acumen, that dexterity. You will find, you will know how to navigate in spite of problems. The first important aspect. Second, when you do that, you know what you experience? When you go that, then you are not a conflict with the problem. Problem is inviting you for a solution. Problem is, it's like you know how to date with the problem. Right? To create solutions to do. And therefore, then you will happen, you are at peace with the problem, not a conflict with the problem.